And we've got another great guest, Dr. Mike Milligan with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
Well, good.
So, Robin or Amber, I know, we talk about Stella Life. I know, Mike wants to share his story and maybe a bit of backstory, from each of you, not only of the amazing company that is Stella Life and what it has been towards this cause and the products and what they represent, but then also I know Mike, wants to share his story as well.
I do. Am I ready?
I'd love for you to kick it off.
Okay. Well, I'm honored to be with you all. I watched your last year's Social-thon, and it was fantastic. I know a lot of the people giving the talks, and so I really enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed this morning as well. You guys are doing such a wonderful thing for people, and I know that better now than I did a couple years ago. But I'd like to talk about three things. First, a little bit about me, so you know who I am, and then about my cancer, and then what I learned from it all. And so hopefully I'll be helpful to several people out there. But about me, my wife of 46 years is a saint to put up with me for all these years. By the end of this talk, you'll understand that. We've got 4 awesome kids, all live within 3 minutes of us, and 8 grandkids, and we're with them 5-6 days a week. And it's just an awesome life with a lot of love. I've been a general dentist for 44 years. Have a great practice, wonderful staff. My youngest daughter, Marissa, joined me 6.5 years ago in practice, and that's been a real blessing to work alongside of her. My written mission for all those years was simply 5 words: to help people live better. And so I've tried to live my life that way. I think that's why we're here. And so I've been speaking on the oral systemic link probably for 20 plus years. And there were 3 of us got together in 2016 at the Chicago Midwinter Meeting. We visited, and we had been speaking all over about the oral systemic link. And Chris Kammer and Ron Shefdor and me, Chris Kammer, and he said, we've got to found an organization about this. And his dad had done the Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, had founded that. And so in 2010, he did. And he sounded the bell, and another daughter and I went up there, and we did the videoing for it. I've done a lot of videos, video interviewing and all. And so we founded the American Academy for Oral Systemic Health. And I've filmed in my life probably 900 short video interviews about all kinds of things in dentistry. I've done maybe 200 on the oral systemic link, and they're up on oralsystemic.link.net. That's all free to you, to healthcare providers and patients. And it's got a little bit about oral cancer. I want to speak with several of the speakers on this and get some more content up there for that. But anyway, Chris, we had 37 people at the first meeting, and since then we've grown and grown with American Academy for Oral Systemic Health. In fact, the video that you have on your home website at Oral Cancer Cause, I looked at that, and Linda Miles and Emma are up on the podium, and well, I was president at that time, and so it was a real wonderful thing to have Linda and Amber speak for us. And you can watch that video on your home website, anyone that hasn't. But we also gave Linda the Lifetime Achievement Award, well-deserved, at that meeting, one of our most prestigious awards. And she was so surprised to get it, and so humble. And we just love Linda Miles. But anyway, we've had Joanne Jones, Dr. Dennis Abbott, and many people up speaking at our meetings and webinars on our websites, on our AOSH website, aaosh.org. And we've been very fortunate to really promote oral cancer awareness, the diagnosis, the therapy, and now I know that it's even more important. One video that I shot at our first annual meeting in 2011 was of Dr. Lloyd Rudy. He's a very famous cardiac surgeon who found that it's an embolus, actually, instead of just a gradual narrowing of the arteries that causes heart attacks and strokes. And he talked about life after death. He had a patient who was dead 25 minutes. They all went to lunch, and then the guy came back to life, and he said and he told him what he saw, and there was no way he could have seen this if he wasn't floating around the room in a spirit to see it. But anyway, that's up on the web. It's had over 2 million views. It's been written up in many books internationally. It's translated into many languages. So you could go to Dr. Lloyd Rudy, Life After Death on YouTube or on my website, Oral Systemic Link, and you can see that. My cancer, I had stage 4 nasopharyngeal cancer. That's behind my nose, so it's in the just above the oral pharynx, and it had metastasized quite a bit down both sides of my neck. In July of 2019, I had a bad nosebleed. I went to the hospital, first nosebleed ever. It took about an hour and a half to stop. Went to my ENT as a follow-up, and he said, if it happens again, come back. And so it happened again. Then, COVID hit. Can stress precipitate cancer or make it worse? I think so. COVID hit. I had to shut my office down for 2 months, and then I opened back up. But toward the end of that shutdown, I got another nosebleed. Then on June 3rd and 4th of 2020, I got 2 more. The ENT, his office is right above mine, so I went up. They cauterized it, and he said, "We better do a get in there and take a look, a PET scan." And then from that, it was all lit up down through here, and we did a biopsy, and anyway, it was stage 4 nasopharyngeal cancer, and so I got the call I did my biopsy on Friday, and then on Sunday at 1:41 p.m., July 12th, 2020, you remember when it was when you get this word. He called me. I saw him. I looked at my phone. I was at my computer. I said, "Oh, this can't be good on a Sunday," hearing from my ENT, and yeah, I got the diagnosis, and all kinds of things go through your head. And but from a kid, it'd been ingrained in me, do the right thing today and every day, and the payoff will come. And so I just move forward. That's all you can really do. You can't get all upset and just, down and depressed and everything else. You just move ahead and say, okay, where do we go from here? And so, two brothers, the ENT sent me to a local oncologist. My 2 brothers said, get out of town, out of our small community, and get to a bigger town. And so I contacted 3 local orthopedic surgeons. They said yes. They helped me get into the University of Chicago. And one of those orthopedic surgeons, his wife had a sore around an implant. And the dentist said, just wait and watch. And that went on for a year. She was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma of the mandible, ended up losing her mandible, a lot of chemo, radiation, immunotherapy. After I finished my treatment, she passed away. But that orthopedic surgeon really helped me get in and to the University of Chicago, visit with me. And so my treatment, I went through, I did want to say that through my diagnosis, 5 different doctors did feel my neck, and not one of them found a lymph node. They already knew the diagnosis and could see the x-rays and the PET scan. And so don't beat yourself up. You just do your best, but do it. Be good at what you do, and do the diagnosis. We've had a Velscope. We were one of the first people, I think, to have a Velscope. I've had it for many, many years, and we've always done a good oral cancer screening. But anyway, do your best diagnosis. But then if you do miss something, hey, maybe you couldn't have found it anyway. Don't beat yourself up, but do it, and then be very direct and honest and communicate with the patient. That's one thing I've learned. But anyway, Dr. Irwin had told me, if you can do immunotherapy, do it.
Mm.
Yes. And so, the 5 doctors told me no. But I kept persisting. The one of those orthopedic surgeons told me, be your own health advocate. I said, what does that mean? He said, you'll find out. And not everybody knows, not even the best doctor in the world. He doesn't know everything, or she. And healthcare providers are such wonderful people, but nobody knows everything. So if something doesn't sound right to you, or something's not going right, keep looking. And so I did. And I said, and so then the last person was a fellow. He wasn't even the doctor in the room. And I said, isn't there some kind of immunotherapy I can do? He says, there might be a study, a clinical trial that we're doing that you might qualify for. Well, I ended up qualifying. In the end, it shrank my tumor 80%. So yeah, thank you, Amber. God bless you, Amber, and all the people that tell their stories. This isn't easy stuff. But anyway, they gave me a 50-50 chance. And so again, I never got depressed. I said, okay, that's better than none. And you just move ahead and say, what do we do? Well, I had 9 appointments every Friday of immunotherapy and chemotherapy. And we drove to Chicago. I had such wonderful support from my family and friends and patients. And one thing I did, I reached out to everybody. I wanted all the prayers I could get. I contacted everybody I knew, and I told them, hey, I've got cancer. Pray for me. And people helped me, and they offered to take me up there and take me to my visits. And so after that, I found out it shrank 80%. And that was a blessing. But then I said, does that lessen the radiation? He said, no. We're going to hit you hard. We don't know if you're going to, make it. So we're going to hit you with everything. And so then I had 6.5 weeks of daily radiation and really strong chemotherapy. I mean, the bag of chemo was like this. The nurse who first put it on there the first time said, they couldn't get another drop in this thing. I can't believe how big this is. I said, great, shoot it in me. But anyway, we moved up there, and my wife went. Oh, my sons-in-law, my 3 son-in-laws, they all shaved their heads when I started losing my hair.
Aww, sweet.
And so one went with my wife. One son-in-law went with my wife, moved up there with us. He was working from home, and he just moved up there and stayed up there with us for 6.5 weeks. And the love and support you get. I had a patient send me 6 cards. Another one, a couple sent me 5. I've got a whole box of cards and that helps. It helps so much. So if you're going through it, don't be afraid to tell people to pray for you. And if you know someone going through it, support them and be in touch with them. It makes a lot of difference to them. So anyway, I tried several. There's so many decisions to make. One local oral surgeon said, extract all your molars. And I sent him, actually, extract all your molars. Well, in the end, I decided not to do that. I reached out to some others and thought about it and got a hold of the radiologist. I made sure they had the best radiology equipment. It goes all around you, and it's more targeting than the old equipment. Anyway, I decided not to do it, and I'm glad I did. I broke a bicuspid on the first ride home after my first infusion. Decided not to extract that. It needed endo and restoration. Anyway, I'm glad I did that. But there's a ton of decisions you make. You just do your best. One thing I want to talk about, when Gennady said, well, why don't you talk in our slot? And I said, well, okay. And he said, you don't need to talk about Stella Life. I said, well, I probably won't. Well,
Gennady always says that to me too. I'm like, I am anyways.
He is the most wonderful person. And I had met him when I went off the board of AOS, he came on the board. And so I was giving him advice. He didn't need it, but I'm never bashful about telling my opinions. And so I met him. Well, the hospital tells you salt and soda water, gargles and rinses. Yeah, they clean it, but they don't soothe it. And so you can't really swallow well. Another guy, a wonderful friend of mine, doctor, helped me build an ozone machine. And so I could use ozone water rinses and gargles. And I did that same thing. It cleans it, but it doesn't soothe it. Well, and then Dennis Abbott told me, whatever you do, swallow. Keep swallowing no matter what. Keep swallowing. I've got a friend who couldn't. Started in December, one of my best friends, and so he still can't swallow. He said those reflexes come back hard, and it's hard to retrain yourself to swallow. It takes a long time. So I knew I needed to keep swallowing. Well, Stella Life allowed me to do that without a doubt. I got to where I could only have a liquid diet, but I did what Gennady told me, and I used that kit 3 times a day. The rinse, and then the spray, and then the gel on the sores. I started 3 days before my radiation started. By the way, use that radiation gel too. Just get that stuff on there before you start your radiation. Don't be, you do be generous with that and use it. But anyway, that Stella Life allowed me to keep swallowing even when I got to a liquid diet. And I cannot say, when I see Gennady, I just cry and hug him.
Oh.
And I've seen him twice since my cancer.
Yeah, he's a great guy, that's for sure. And Stella Life has helped so many of our patients. And last night I sent an email, and the Gennady is like, all right, another patient, we're going to get the product right out. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
But I can't say enough good about Stella Life and Gennady. You're lying there at night in your bed and you're saying, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one breath at a time, all night long, one breath at a time.
I'll never forget, Dr. Mike,
breathe out.
Linda Miles, when I was first diagnosed and I had come into contact with Robin and the oral cancer cause. I didn't know who Linda was. I wasn't in the dental industry, and I didn't know who Robin was. And she said, go through recovery, and I've got a plan. And I said, okay. And for 7 months, I didn't eat. I was on an all liquid diet. I learned early, because I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to oral cancer survivors, to keep swallowing. So I fought that swallow test and I passed it. So I didn't have to go home on a feeding tube.
Yeah, I never got one either.
The very first call I got from Linda, she said, it's time. And I said, okay. She said, we're going to fly to this meeting. They're letting me open, and I'm going to give you the microphone. I said, do they know you're doing that? And she said, I don't think so. And I was flying into AOSH, right? But people didn't know that before that I'd already gone through my cancer journey and I'd had my surgery, but I was actually technically still dying because I was malnutritioned my body was falling apart. I didn't get to have chemotherapy and radiation because my cancer's cellular. And I wasn't eating. I'd gone to the nutritionist at the oncology at the cancer center. I said, what do I do? And they said, oh, you got to have all this high fat, high sugar shakes. And I said, I'm not the smartest woman in the world, but I don't think that that's good for my body. And they said, do you want to put on weight, or do you want to dwindle away and die of malnutrition?
Yeah.
And about a week later is when I got on a plane to come to AYASH, which I didn't know what it was. And I promise you, I probably shouldn't tell you this. I snuck into every presentation. And I sat in the back and I listened to every person there. And this was the first time I had ever heard of an oral systemic link. This is the first time I had ever heard people talking about anti-inflammatory and diets and what you should put in your body.
It's great.
And I left there and I realized that I could be my own advocate and I could save my own life.
Yes.
And I am not kidding. Your meeting and the people that you had presenting that year changed my life. I immediately went home and enrolled in the Health Coach Institute and then a Life Coach Institute, because I knew being not only to help myself and to educate myself, but the people we were going to come into contact with through the oral cancer cause needed this help as well. They needed to know how to, and Robin and I have talked about it, how to blend up food and how to get the proper nutrition and what to take. And I just have to say personally, I don't think that you'll ever know how important your organization is and how much change it has manifested in so many people. And
look at you cry.
I know. I just want to say thank you. But it truly, I don't think you'll ever know. And I'll never forget Linda. She said, what are you going to say? And she handed me the microphone. And I said, Linda, I honestly don't know, but we're going to do this thing. And I am forever grateful to you. So
you did great. You did great. And thank you for sharing that. And we love that organization, and we hear that all the time, that it changed their life, it saved their life, it changed their practice. It's the best meeting they ever attended, and so thank you for that. But anyway, I want to quickly tell you three things. Amber, thank you. I want to thank you for all you do, but I want to tell you what I've learned. I've got a couple minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Number one, be your own health advocate. Right, Amber? Okay. Number two, support from your family and friends and patients. Reach out to them. Let them know what's going on. Have them pray for you. And that support that they give you is, there's no substitute for it. And it helps during those long days and those long nights. And then third, and Amber, you probably feel this way too, and so many people would, and this is by far the most important. This was a blessing in disguise. And someone very close to me, very, very close to me, has stage 4 renal cancer and has had 100 times tougher time than I did. But what we learned is this life is very short and fragile. Very short and fragile, and it's not about this life. It's about the next life. And so that's really all that counts, is getting to the next life on the good side. And that's the only purpose in this life. And so 5 words: love God and love neighbor. Those are the 2 main commandments. And to be able to love God the best, read the Bible. Get a good one, get the right one, and get a good one and read it. And that's really what this life's all about. And again, I told you, I say what I think, and I'm not bashful about giving my opinions. And that's my message. And thank you for having me. I did make my donation earlier during this webinar. I went on your site.
Thank you very much.
I encourage everyone to do that. What you guys are doing is phenomenal. Thank you. I know that time is precious, and you're giving so much time and effort to this. And God bless you all for what you do.
Well, thank you for what you do too. And can I ask you, how are you doing now?
I am cancer free. You know,
You got the Ned.
Yeah, they shot the guy next to me and let me go with my 50-50 chance. But at my first 3 months checkup, I was more worried about my scans. I hate going under that machine for an hour and 40 minutes and you can't move, because I'm an itchy guy. You've seen me, and you go in that thing. And I didn't figure out until about the fourth time that I should medicate myself. You can't over medicate because you have to stay awake and you can't move. You can't move.
Anxiety.
The more you think about it,
too.
But yeah, you've done it, Amber. And but anyway, then I realized about 2 days before my visit with the oncologist, I decided that's really not the tough part of this 3-month checkup. I'm going to find out if I've got cancer still or not. and I just, oh yeah, when he told me I was cancer free, and then every 3 months my next checkup, my 1.5-year checkup is next month. I will be cancer free. I know it. And I'm, positive attitude, just do what you got to do. Oh, communicate with your patients. Don't be a wimp. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a healthcare provider, be one. And doctors will visit with you. This stuff about you can't visit, you don't want to visit with a doctor. You don't have faith in yourself or confidence in yourself. They're looking for help. They don't know everything. And you can talk on the radio. You can speak to the medical society. You can speak to the dental society. You can, I've hosted meetings at my country club on oral systemic health and announced it publicly and brought in healthcare providers. There's all kinds of ways to get the word out. And if you are confident in what you do, be good at what you do. You can be a healthcare provider and not be a good one and not help others. Or you can really focus and learn and be good. I'm talking too much. But anyway, I'm not bashful.
We love passion.
Yeah. Anyway, doctors will visit with you. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Oh, thank you,
Dr. Mike.
Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Congratulations on your journey.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.